audio.
So what if your website could read your user's mind? Like it changes color upon hovering or simply glows when clicked. Or let's say upon hovering, it vanishes or simply shows the clicking effect upon being clicked. Or let's say you have an input field which simply shows being active by changing color. Or let's say you have a list of students and let's say you can style them based on their even or odd, like the same color for the even ones and the same color for the odd ones. Sounds great, right? So with the help of CSS Pseudo-Classes, we can achieve these things easily. So let's start the video. So simply open your code editor and I simply have the HTML file, that is index.html, and simply the CSS file, and simply open the web page this page so that you can see the real-time changes as well. So your pseudo classes simply allows you to have different styling of the elements simply based on their state or position. So let's start with the first pseudo class, that is simply your hover. So let's say you simply have a button for this. Let's say with a class name as simply btn, and let's say we simply have hover over me, right? So simply go to your CSS file and select this class name. So let me first quickly have some simple styling for this. So simply select this class name, that is btn, then simply a colon, then simply the pseudo class, that is hover. So let's say upon hovering you want some other color, right? Let's say simply pink. Now see, upon hovering the color will change. Or let's say you also want the text color to simply white instead of this black upon hovering. See, upon hovering the color and the text also getting changed. So whatever you want upon hovering, that is when you simply put your mouse over the button, that styling you can simply add under this your pseudo class. And do you know you can also make this button disappear upon hovering. So for that, what you need to do, simply upon hovering, set the opacity to simply 0 and also have one more pseudo class, that is simply not hover. So this time set the opacity to simply 1. Now upon hovering, this button will disappear. See, cool, right? So now let's have our second pseudo class, that is simply your active. So for this, let's again have one more button. Let's say this time, let's say btn1, as we already have btn here. Let's simply have click me, let's say with this symbol, just for fun, right? Let's have some line breaks. Then simply again the same thing. First, simply some common styling for this button. So let me add again some common styling for this quickly. Now again simply this class name btn1 with again a colon. Now this time active. So it means the first, as we have hover, that means when you simply put your mouse over that button, right? But now active pseudo class means when clicked, not hovering, not putting your mouse on this button, That is simply upon clicking. So let's say we want, let's say instead of this simple background color, let's have this box shadow. This will give it a glow, although you can add simple background colors as well. See, upon clicking, it shows a lime green box shadow. If you simply give background color, then this time see, upon clicking, the background color is getting changed. And with this active pseudo class, you can also create a clicking effect on the button. So for that, simply add this property, that is your transform with translate to your Y. Let's say 3 pixels. So what this will do, upon clicking, it will simply move down to 3 pixel. As we have Y, it means vertical axis. See. And when you click repeatedly, see, it shows a clicking effect, right? Cool, right? So now let's see our third pseudo class. That is your focus. So let me show you first. So let's have an input field for this. So let's say we simply have an input field with a class as, let's say, INP. Although you should always give meaningful names, but for now let's keep it INP only. Or let's say focus input only, and type simply text for now. Let's keep it simple, right? With a placeholder as, let's say simply click me again. And let's again have line breaks. And let's make this a bit small. So we have our pseudo class, that is focus. So it means when clicked, whatever styling we want, we can have that. So let's say simply, so let me first have some basic styling for this input field. Without styling, it won't look good. So see, we simply have basic styling, right? Now, upon clicking, nothing is getting changed. So let's simply use our focus again with a colon and simply focus. And what we can do, let's say now we have a gray border, right? So that time, let's say our border color, let's say simply to blue, or let's have kind of navy blue. Then simply again box shadow for having a glow, right? See, now upon clicking, like upon making this input field active, it's getting changed. So what would be the use of this? Let's say you will have 3-4 input fields. So this color change will show you whichever field is being active. So you can add these customizations in your website to make it look more attractive and appealing, right? So let's have our last pseudo selector. Although we have plenty of pseudo selectors, but I am showing you the most commonly used. You can search for other pseudo selectors and practice on your own if you want. So the fifth is simply your nth-child. So what it does, let me first have some example, then you will understand this easily. So let's say we simply have an ordered list. Let's give it a class also, that is, let's say student list. And let's say we have list item 1, that is student 1. So let's this way have 6 students. So this would be 2, then 3, 5 and 6. So now with this nth-child, simply you can style this by using even and odd. Like for the even student, different color. Then for the odd students, different colors. So again, first, let's give them a simple styling. So see, we have this basic styling, right? So to style every event student, let's say, simply select your class name, again, student list, then simply li colon, simply have nth child, then in the parenthesis, simply write even, so your class name, then simply li, then a colon, and nth child even for selecting even students. Then simply, let's say, light blue. See, for the event students, same color. Then again, the same thing. Let's say this time for instead of even, simply odd. And let's say background color instead of light blue to light green. See, now every odd student have green color and even students have blue color. So this was the use of nth-child, your nth-child pseudo selector. So yes, that's it for this video. Hope you all understood about the pseudo classes in a much better way. So see you all in the next one. Till then, take care.